Hello friends, it's Allison for Scrapbook Nerd. I am dropping in to share with you today a new scrapbooking layout. It is technically a single page layout, but you could consider it a double page layout because there is going to be an insert that I created that lays over top of the actual layout from vellum. You can see it to the right hand side of the screen. I printed my journaling on it and also used my Cricut to draw a title which says Choose Joy. Right now I am working on embellishing this part of the page. So I found this little rectangle piece of ephemera in an older Pink Fresh Studio collection. By the way, I am playing mostly with Pink Fresh some days today. This floral image is from that collection. I'm using liquid glue to attach it over top of the rectangle ephemera. You may have noticed that I flipped it over. There is printing on the opposite side of it, but I didn't want to use it. I didn't think it would coordinate with the colors from some days. So I flipped it over and happily discovered that it is a solid color, like not white. On the flip side, it was a really nice mustard yellow, which right now is one of my favorite colors ever. I used some saffron ink from my stash and the Tim Holtz stencil just to add a little bit of something interesting to the back side of that piece of ephemera, just so it wasn't plain. I also added one of the puffy stickers, little speech bubble with a heart in it. At the bottom of this page, I decided to add the date using the puffy alphas that come with the collection as well. I'm really making an effort to try and use up some of those alphas. I don't often turn to them in my crafting, even though I love the way that they look. So I made an actual point to use them today. I really like the way that it looks. I used the centers of the O's on the sticker sheet as well as dots, like periods, to separate the day from the month and the year. And then later on in the video, I do add a little bit more ephemera. I can't remember right now if it's a puffy sticker or ephemera to the very bottom underneath the date, just to finish off the page. Right now I have moved to the main part of the layout. I pulled out the pattern paper from the Some Days collection and trimmed that off. I think it's about an inch wide. I don't really know exactly. I didn't measure it, only because I cut a portion of that paper off so I could put it on the left-hand side of the layout base to fill in the white space left behind by the photo and, well, by the photo, basically. The photo and the vellum overlay are both the same size. They are not a true 7 by 8¼ size piece, which is what the size of the layout base is, by the way. I trimmed them down just a little bit because I didn't want the vellum to be the full size. So I decided to make the photo and the vellum the same size. So after I got that started, I went back to the vellum piece because I wasn't happy with the ephemera that I had added to it. I went back to the old Pink Fresh Studio collection. I think it was my favorite things, and I had all these frames left over from the chipboard sticker sheet. I pulled one of them off and layered the flower over top of it. It looks so much better. That little embellishment cluster feels complete now. I do put the speech bubble back inside the frame, but I feel like it helps tie everything together. I'm so glad that I went back and decided to do that. I do actually add another chipboard frame from my favorite things to the back side of the vellum insert as well, just to kind of fill in the blank space that the piece of ephemera creates. I wasn't too terribly concerned about covering absolutely everything on the back side of it. because it doesn't add anything to the layout. It's just kind of a filler. I wanted to fill up some of that blank space. So here is the back side. I pulled out, as you see, another chipboard frame and some more florals from the Some Days collection. I'm going to use a little bit of foam squares to pop up that flower in the center, just to give it a little bit of dimension and height, so it doesn't blend into the background. Mainly the reason why I wanted to cover this part of the layout is because you could see the phrase and the image on what is the front side of the ephemera. I didn't want that showing through, so I covered it up. Like I said, the rest of it I'm totally fine with, because it doesn't really add anything more to the layout. I'm just playing with the puffy stickers again from Some Days, just trying to find something to pop in the center of that flower. And that's it for me, friends. This layout came together really quickly. It was super simple to make, and I'm really happy with the final layout. Be sure you hit up the Scrapbook Nerd shop if you want any Pink Fresh Studio goodies. There is still some Days left in the shop, so be sure to check that out. Thanks for joining me today, friends. Bye.